What is the CFL Combine? Where is the CFL Combine? Who is the CFL Combine? This is all about the CFL Combine. I hope you guys are excited for this brand new video breaking down everything you need to know about the CFL Combine, which is getting ready to kick off here in a few weeks, the National Combine. And basically what the CFL Combine is a 5-day invite-only combine for select Canadians across the country of Canada and any Canadians residing in the US or elsewhere. Now, these are the elite of the elite Canadians that are getting brought in, the best of the best, and they come in for 5 days to do a boatload of testing, both physical, mental, and are basically out there to show that they can compete at the next level and become a successful professional athlete in the Canadian Football League. The CFL Combine is going to be comprised of 5 days of vigorous testing. Day 1 is going to be comprised of your medical measurements and testing, so things like flexibility, your height, your weight. They may even do some EKG testing to test your heart and make sure everything checks out there. Some of the other measurements that will be taken other than your height and weight will be your hand length, your arm length, and even your wingspan. Once all that stuff's out of the way, usually you will have some sort of meetings with, the league, the commissioner, the CFLPA. You'll also take a Wonderlic test, which will obviously test your IQ, and it's something that some teams will use it to determine if you're smart enough to play for them at the end of the day. The second day of testing is going to be all of your on-field testing. Now, depending on how this year is ran, obviously in years past, you've had your bench press and vertical jump on the same day as your medical measurements. So it might be a little bit different this year, but you'll probably be doing your bench, vertical, 40-yard dash.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
3-cone drill, L drill, and broad jump. Now, obviously, this is the main component of the combine and what you've seen in any combine, whether it's down in the United States with the NFL Combine or any of the XFL or USFL combines. The pretty rigorous testing, what teams use to determine an athlete's elite level is, the 40-yard dash, vertical jump, bench press, 3-cone drill, the L drill, and the broad jump. Now, while these tests may not always directly translate to the football field, they do give scouts and GMs a general good idea of how ready a player is to compete at the next level, where everything's going to be faster, quicker, stronger, all that good stuff. Now, this is going to be something new from day 3 to 5, something that I didn't experience in my combine days back in 2019. Part of it was the one-on-ones and individual drills that we've competed in, but now they have added in a scaly compete period and an offense-defense installation. Now, where I think this could be beneficial is definitely going to be from the scouting perspective to see if players are able to take in this information relatively fast and apply it to the football field in a positive way. This is also beneficial for the players because these are all led by CFL coaches, so these players are able to work one-on-one directly with coaches that they may actually be drafted by in the coming months. Now that we've covered what the combine is, the next question is, who goes to the combine? So it varies from your typical standout Canadian U Sports player that is in his draft year, all the way to NCAA players that are Canadian heritage or have Canadian citizenship and are heading into their draft years as well. This also includes the top global players who participated in a previous combine to the invite-only combine. Now, you might say, well, why are there no Americans invited to this combine? This is a big deal because most American players are added to teams' negotiation lists early on in their college careers, especially if they have some sort of NFL interest. This really is a team's way of banking on a player that may not pan out in the NFL, but would be a good fit on a CFL team. So what a lot of you may be wondering is, what was my experience of the combine? What are some things that I enjoyed? What are some things that I wish I could have done different? And man, 2019 seems like a decade ago, but I had a great experience at the combine. It was probably one of the most stressful times in my life, obviously interviewing for what would be my future job in being a professional football player in the Canadian Football League. And I overall just wanted to put on a good performance and show teams that I was ready for the pro level. I think one of the most interesting things was being able to interview with each team, being able to sit down and literally be asked any question question you could think of in front of a whole organization was something that was pretty interesting to me and something that I'll never forget. Some teams will have maybe 1 or 2 guys in there, whether it's the GM or the head coach, and other teams will have entire personnel staffs in the room with you. So you have probably about 15 to 20 personnel guys all encircling you, and one guy's asking you questions, and you just feel like you're just under the microscope. So that's something that is very interesting, and obviously they're trying to interview you and see if you're a good fit potentially for their team. Another thing that I really enjoyed was meeting all the other athletes that were there and seeing how hard everyone had worked to get to that point. I think it was interesting because a lot of us were struggling with the weight on our shoulders and the stresses of performing at the CFL Combine, because in most things you really only get one shot at it. You don't get to redo it. You don't get another chance later on down the road. So you really just have to perform while you're there. And I think that helped me gain a lot of respect for the other players that were there competing. And now what probably a lot of you are wondering are the things that I wish I could have done differently, whether that was in training, in my mental preparation, or things like that. Now, I'm a firm believer that everything works out the way that it's supposed to. So I don't think there's one thing that I could say I would go back and say, hey, I would have lifted this weight differently, or got an extra hour of sleep this night or something like that. I think I'm grateful for my experience at the Combine, the opportunity that I had, because now it's afforded me the ability to be playing in the Canadian Football League going into my 3rd season. And I am just so grateful for the opportunity that I got way back in 2019. Now, any tips for future attendees that may be watching this? It may not be your Combine year this year, or maybe it is, and you're getting ready in the next 2 weeks here, and you're wondering, Stavros, what can I do to put on the best show that I can in 2 weeks time? And I have the answer for you. It's simple, it's easy. You just have to relax and perform. That's all it is. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people asking you different questions about where'd you play, why do you think you can fit on our team, and even more people that are going to be watching and speculating and wondering, hey, is this guy's 40 fast enough? Is his vertical, can he jump high enough to play with the big, tall CFL receivers? All that type of stuff is going to be so speculative that whole week that you're there, and it's going to go by so quickly. So I think the biggest thing is just to take it all in, enjoy the moment, relax. You're going to do great. Don't worry about any of the outside noise or anything like that. Just go and do your best. And like I said, everything will work out the way it's supposed to. I think the simple thing would probably be just to say, run fast, lift heavy, jump high, and perform in all your on-field drills. But that is way easier said than done. So hats off to anybody that is heading the CFL Combine this year or in future years if you're watching this, and best of luck to you. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video detailing the CFL Combine. I hope you guys that are competing in it are excited, because I know I was when I was in your shoes. And again, just relax, don't stress, and go out there and do your thing. You are ready for this moment. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you could, give me a subscribe, leave a like on this video, give me a comment on what you want to see in future videos. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.
An amazing return by Devon.
Man, he got dusted.